I never thought I'd get to say this in my life. Well, maybe I would eventually, but I didn't think it would be tonight because this was an upset. To me, it's an upset because it just doesn't happen too often. If you don't know what it is, well, let me educate you. Panthers win 5-2 to the Los Angeles Kings on the road. And the reason why it's meaningful win for the Panthers for the first time, which I thought was 8 years, but then my little brain kind of remembers 6 years ago. It was, I believe the date was March 16th, 2019. It was a Saturday game between the Florida Panthers and the Los Angeles Kings. At the time, I think that they still call it Staples Center, but now they call it Crypto.com Arena. It's been that long. That game, Mike Hoffman opened up with a power play goal, right? It was a power play goal for, at the time, Mike Hoffman. Sam Montebault was the Florida Panthers goaltender in that game, right? And then at that time was Jonathan Quick. You know who was the top scorer in that game, if you guys remember? Evgeny Dadonov. Evgeny Dadonov scored 2 goals in that game. And when it appeared to be like another losing situation with a go-ahead goal from Kopitar, which, by the way, if you don't know the story with Kopitar, he has announced his retirement after this season, after the 20th season in the NHL. Congratulations to Kopitar. Definitely, you don't see too often that a player remains with one team throughout his entire career, and that's just awesome for Kopitar to end it this way. But you know who was that goal scorer, that game-winning goal scorer in that game between the Kings and the Panthers? Jonathan Huberdeau was that goal scorer, a game-winning goal scorer to win that game 4-3 over the Los Angeles Kings. And they have not won since. It's not a long time, per se, but it feels like a long time. And the reason why I brought this up is because we have a really good team. We have a really good Panthers team throughout those seasons. I'm talking the 21-22 season. That was the President's Trophy winning season. We were only able to beat them at home, I believe, that season, as far as I remember. Let me double check real quick. I think I might have butchered that one. But either way, man, it was a tough. The Kings are tough on the road. They're always tough on the road. And then I think the season after, we were not able to win at all against the Kings at all that season. And the season after that, it was at Reinhardt's last second overtime. But those are at home. Most of the time, we beat the Kings at home. Not that in this one, it's a little bit of a different story. We beat LA on the road for the first time in 6 years. Jonathan Huberdeau was that goal scorer that had a game-winning score against the LA Kings. And that's how long it's been. And like I said, Panthers win 5-2 over the LA Kings, and I was expecting a same old story, but nope. We were able to get a different story. My gosh, that crowd was not great. There was roughly nobody there. Nobody was there. And people want to say the Panthers' attendance suck, even though they sell out every game. But LA's attendance was not that great. There was a lot of empty seats. I don't know if it's because they're partying too hard over the Dodgers winning the World Series, but I don't know. I don't know, man. All right, Sergei Bobrovsky going up against Anton Forsberg. We know a thing or two about Forsberg. The first period seen 4 goals, 2 from each team. The first one was happened by Sam Bennett. It was that rebound. But in doing so, Rodriguez with the wrist shot that was stopped by Forsberg. And then we have a assist to Bennett. He's assisted by Jesper Boquist. That's his first assist of the season. And Jet Petrie's 4th assist of the season. And Sam Bennett is getting things going with the wrist shot. He was able to get one into the back of the net for the Panthers. 1-0 Panthers right there. So pretty good, right? But then a few minutes later, as the Kings are shooting the puck, like Brant Clark with the slash shot that was stopped by Bobrovsky. There was a holding the stick penalty on Brad Marchand. There was another penalty earlier. Yeah, Asia Greer with the hooking penalty on Corey Perry. Yes, the Corey Perry. Panthers. Yeah, Panthers go short-handed here as Los Angeles with the shots and Corey Perry with the tip in, but that was stopped by Bobrovsky. And off the rebound is Kopitar with the backhand that was stopped by Bobrovsky as well. Brant Clark with the slap shot that was stopped by Bobrovsky. That penalty is killed off. Trevor Moore with the tip in that was stopped by Bobrovsky. Marchand with the holding the stick penalty on Mikey Anderson, and they score. That is a bad call for the officials to make, I believe. But the Panthers allowed a goal. Kings with a game-tying goal. He's assisted by Quinton Byfield. That's his 10th assist of the season. Who was originally was a goal scorer, but I knew they were going to change it to Kopitar. Adrian Kempe, that's his 11th assist of the season. And off the tip in his first goal this season, who is retiring this season, Kopitar. Anze Kopitar, his first goal of the season. And then a minute and a half later, they score again. He's assisted by Joe Edmondson. That's his 6th assist of the season. And Mikey Anderson's 2nd assist of the season. Off the wrist shot, it's Corey Perry. Yeah, the Corey Perry. That same Corey Perry who was part of the Edmonton Oilers team for that 2 Stanley Cup final appearances, and the Panthers beat them twice in a row? Yeah, that guy. 2-1 LA, not good. And that's what I was kind of expecting out of this game. I didn't think it was going to be happening that quickly. Like last year, right? When Evan Rodriguez was their lone scorer in the second period, part of me had that hope. And then they quickly lose it in the third period. This is what it felt like to me, although I didn't expect it to happen in the first period. That's what I was trying to say. Alex Jerkov, if I said it correctly, I apologize. And off the rebound, I was stopped by Bobrovsky. And since then, Bobrovsky was on fire. He was awesome. And then, 17:30 into the first period, there was kind of a goaltender holler. Because while the puck was right behind the net, Forsberg failed to tend the puck. And I think, what's that saying go? Oh yeah, if you're a goaltender, you tend the puck. I think that's the saying, right? I think that was that Maple Leafs influencer that I saw like a few months back. It was kind of funny. Something like that. But anyway, Marchand took the opportunity and then he was able to bury it. But in doing so, the great defense from Aaron Ekblad off a failed goaltending by Anton Forsberg. Aaron Ekblad gets his 3rd assist of the season, and he assists Brad Marchand. Marchand gets his 8th goal of the season, and he ties it up 2-2 for the Panthers. We then go to the second period. Second period was a kind of a slow fest, but Panthers defense did their job. Okay, they held Brant Clark. They held Kuzmenko he got a wrist shot, but that was stopped by Bobrovsky. Joel Armia with the wrist shot. Evan Rodriguez gets blocked. Carter Verhaeghe with the wrist shot that was stopped by Forsberg. Mackey with the wrist shot that was stopped by Forsberg as well. Excuse me. Armia with a delayed game penalty. This was that puck over the glass. So the Panthers go into power play. They do nothing with this power play. In fact, they gave up a shorthanded breakaway opportunity from Quinton Byfield. And by the way, that Corey Perry shot was a breakaway goal. This one was also a breakaway, I believe, and that was stopped by Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky stopped a few of those breakaways, which was excellent. So this penalty is killed off, a crappy penalty. It was awful. However, 11:45, we have a goal. A great goal. He was assisted by Nico Mikkola. That's his 1st assist of the season. And Verhaeghe's 5th assist of the season. And off the backhand is Sam Reinhart with his 7th goal of the season. He is starting to light up the fire in in his soul. It is awesome so far. That puck did go into the back of net, and it came out very quickly. The play continued for like a couple of seconds, and then they whistled. It dead. And when they did that, the puck ends up going back to the back of the net. And I saw it go into the back of the net anyway, so I knew it was going to be a goal. I was worried what these referees were going to come up with, because I realized, we're playing against LA. LA always gets the benefit of the calls. But they said it's a good goal. It clearly went to the back of the net. Sam Bennett with a tripping penalty against Trevor Moore. That is a god-awful call, because Sam Bennett trips himself. He literally trips himself, but yet LA Kings players trip themselves, and they don't get called for anything. That is a bad penalty, bad call on Sam Bennett. So the LA Kings go on the power play, and thankfully they do nothing with this power play. In fact, Panthers should have scored on this power play. Loserin with the wrist shot that was stopped by Forsberg, but then a takeaway by Rodriguez. Rodriguez tries to backhand off a breakaway, and that was stopped by Forsberg. And Rodriguez tries to shoot again on the left side, but Forsberg stopped it, and the play was whistled. That should have been 4-2 right there. That should have been a shorthanded goal for Ed Rodriguez. That would have been great. There was some talking between those two teams, like LA is pissed off about Rodriguez doing a breakaway, so we can't do a breakaway, but they could. It's so ridiculous. That penalty is killed off. Great kill by the Panthers. Trevor Moore with the backhand. That was stopped by Bobrovsky. Sabrango tries to wrist shot in twice in a row. And then that was stopped by Forsberg. Edmundson with the slash shot. That was stopped by Bobrovsky. Excuse me. Then we go to the third period, leading 3-2 over the LA Kings. Kings came out swinging. Mikey Anderson with the wrist shot that was stopped by Bobrovsky, and then Quentin Byfield hit the post. Thankfully, it did not go to the back of it. And Kevin Viola with the deflection that was stopped by Bobrovsky, thankfully. Philip Denault with the tripping penalty on Sam Bennett. So Florida Panthers go on a power play. One shot on target is for Hagee, and that's all. That penalty would be killed off. There was a shorthanded chance from Trevor Moore, but thankfully Bobrovsky was able to see it through. That penalty would be killed off. Seth Jones with the wrist shot that was stopped by Forsberg, and Evan Rodriguez tries the wrist shot home that was also stopped by Forsberg. Verhaeghe with the high sticking penalty on Anderson. Another weird call. LA Kings go on a power play during that power play, and it's a good power play. Kopitar with the wrist shot that was stopped by Bobrovsky, and then 8:41 into that third period, the Kings did not score a special teams goal. No, the Panthers scored a shorthanded goal. He's assisted by Loserin. That's his fourth assist of the season. And the wrist shot buries it. Is Anton Lundell off the breakaway. Shorthanded goal. What a goal by Anton Lundell, the breakaway, to make it 4-2. Panthers on a shorthanded goal for the Panthers. What a goal by the Panthers, man. It was awesome. There's your shorthanded goal right there, man. That's the goal that was needed, and we got it. The rest of the penalty was killed off. Noah Gregor tries to get that fifth goal. That was stopped by Forsberg, and then eventually they would, as he is assisted by Mikula. That's the second assist of the game, I believe. And off the snapshot, Marchand with his 9th goal of the season. He snaps it home past Forsberg, his second in the game, to make it 5-2 Florida in Los Angeles. Awesome game by Brad Marchand. It's awesome. Since then, the Kings, like Campy, drew Doughty with the wrist. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. With the wrist shot that was stopped by Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky's saving every puck he could, and he does. Rodriguez with the backhand that was stopped by Forsberg. Lafreniere with, not Lafreniere, Lafreniere with, if I say it correctly, please let me know, with the wrist shot that was stopped by Bobrovsky. Both quits with the wrist shot that was stopped by Forsberg. And then a fight broke loose. There was a big hit. I mean a big hit from AJ Greer to Corey Perry. He also hits Brian Dumoulin as well earlier that one. Those two went at it. Oh, shit. Okay, good. Those two went at it. Those two were fighting, beating the crap out of each other. AJ Greer takes him down. Corey Perry, clearly very angry, very frustrated. Maybe remembering some reminiscence from his time in Edmonton against the Panthers. He clearly hates the Panthers. And both players, AJ Greer and Corey Perry, both went into locker rooms for 5 minutes for fighting. It was awesome. Awesome fight. And there you go. That's your final score. 5-2 over the Los Angeles Kings in Los Angeles. First victory at Crypto.com Arena in 6 years. I thought it was 8 years, and I don't know how this slipped out my mind, and then I remember. 24 shots on targets for the Panthers, 26 shots on targets for the Kings, 24 hits for the Panthers, 26 hits for the Kings, 26 face-off wins for the Panthers. That's awesome. 26 face-off wins for the Kings. Now, we didn't get a shorthanded... yeah, we did. We didn't get a power play goal, but we did get a shorthanded goal, Anton Lundell. The Kings ended up with 4 power plays. They got 1 power play goal. 14 block shots for the Panthers, 16 block shots for the Kings, 2 takeaways for the Panthers, 4 takeaways for the Kings, 13 giveaways for the Kings, 11 giveaways for the Panthers. And stars of the game, 1 star goes to Brad Marchand with 2 goals, 2 stars goes to Nico Mikkola with 2 stars and 2 assists, 3 stars goes to Lundell from that shorthanded breakaway. Awesome game by the Florida Panthers, and a clearly good rebound from the Anaheim loss. Man, if we beat Anaheim, we probably have a chance to do a California sweep, but that's still not possible despite all this. But I'm happy that we got this win in Los Angeles. That's all that matters to me. And let's go to bed. It was definitely worth staying up late to see this happen. That's like once every 6 years. Okay, I'm going. As you can tell, I'm still feeling a little sick, even though it's been a week. I'm hoping I get better very soon. The next game for the Florida Panthers is on Saturday night against the San Jose Sharks. They're starting to get hot with Celebrini. I don't think the Sharks are going to be easy out there. But we'll see what happens, man. And then a tough one after that, Vegas. We'll see what happens with those games, man. All right, man. There you go. That's going to do it for this one. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe for content. Because Miami TV is back. And when you don't see me right through the free team you deserve. This is Miami TV sign off, folks. Everybody have a great night. Go to sleep happy. Because I will. Good night.